So when I was 5, 6, I kind of noticed that our family was different. My home was pretty unstable. As I got older, I learned about drugs and things like that at school and was like, okay, my parents are totally doing these things. I also felt loved by them, but just not a really stable life at all. Had always felt really connected with God. My grandmother poured so much Jesus into me, just loved on me so much. And I went to church camp and I gave my life to Christ. My grandmother sat me down one day and was like, we just need to pray for your family. Never stop praying for them because God can change anything, right? And so that's what we did. My family continued to be like an up, down. It got worse, and then it'd get a little better, and then it got worse until I was in junior high. And my dad woke up one day and was like, I want to be clean. So they were clean for 4 or 5 years maybe. And when I was 16, they got back on drugs and used until I was 22. But I knew that God could change anything and change my family, so I never stopped praying for them. And my relationship with God has been up and down. It's not been perfect. As I grew up, I went through the whole typical, like I'm drinking, suppressing how I felt inside about the things that I had to go through as a kid. I would lay down every single night, whether it was drunk or high, and I would say, God, I just want you to pull me closer to you because I know what I'm doing is not right. And I just need you to make me want to be better. I knew that he would just pull me in closer to him. As I got older, I met my husband. Our families kind of knew each other, and he had been through the same kind of thing. I think I was 17 when I met him, and then we started dating when I was 18. He became my best friend, and we got married at 22 and moved all the way to Parker County from East Texas. He started working a lot, being gone all the time, and we had gotten pregnant. And him being gone all the time was really hard on our marriage. He would come home and I would be gone, and he would, things like that. I could tell that things were starting to not be good between us. We would fight, he was unhappy, I was unhappy, and we kind of came to this conclusion well, maybe we just don't need to be together, because that's what the enemy always likes to tell us, that when things get hard, we'll walk away, whether it's from your friends or from your spouse. And so that really put a struggle on us, because just the loneliness and you're sad, and you have a new baby, you don't have how to deal with this. And I didn't have my mom or his mom or anybody, helping. And I took a weekend, I went home and kind of sat in that, do I want to be divorced from my best friend? And I was like, no, I don't. And so I came back to him and I was like, I don't want to get divorced. And he was like, well, I do. He was already going down a path that, sometimes people fall into. Everybody has sin, but God kept on putting it on me that I needed to fight for my family, that I needed to fight for my daughter, that I needed to fight to keep my family together, because the devil does not like a family to be together. I kept praying and kept fighting, and we actually got back together. It was so hard walking through that and trying to heal my heart and heal his heart and put ourselves back together, put our marriage back together and our friendship. God worked on me so much through all that and just tried to pour his love on me a lot, because I needed it. I was not okay. I was not okay with everything. I was not okay with the thought of my kid growing up in a broken home. I was not okay with the thought of him being with someone else and not me, and our family being torn apart. If you don't give all of the hurt and your pain and your anger to God, it just feeds all the stuff inside of you, and the devil uses that against you later on in life, whether it's years later, whether it's with friendships or your kids or anything. And there's things you might not know that you harbor But you have to ask God to take all that out. And it is not easy. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at it because, I'm not. And I have to wake up every day and say, God, you've got to take this from me. I just completely trust in you. I might not be able to trust my loved ones, but I got to have your trust. God changed my heart during all this time to deny myself and put others first. He had probably always been working with that. God loves everyone. He doesn't love me more than you. He doesn't love you more than me. He loves us all the same. And there is something about every single person that he absolutely adores. Even when I'm frustrated and get annoyed, I always ask him, what about that person you love so much? And what can I love them? How can I love them better? We're supposed to put others before us, him, God first, and then our husband, and then our children. But we're supposed to love well. He is enough when you feel like you're not enough. When you don't know what you're doing, he's sovereign and he's so good and he's there even when you don't always feel him. He will show you. You just have to look for it. It's so worth it because you can rest in knowing that you trusted him. And that's all he wants from us, is to love and trust him.